And we are live for the first time in a while. KYT here with my boy Andy as we bring back a special episode of First Strike. And with us, we have our guest, Ash Loris, the winner of F2F Edmonton. How's it going? First, Andy, how's it going, Andy?
Oh, it's a great day. It's a good day in the neighborhood.
And I'm super glad you can join us, Ash. Really, really happy.
Of course, I come through in the clutch last second. We love to see it.
I think the big news today is of course the F2F Tour, the organized play announcements and everything like that. But the key thing, though, one of the main takeaways is that there's going to be a lot of Modern being played, and that's why I got Ash to come on. A lot of Modern being played, a lot of invites on the line. Toronto, April 9th, that's in about a week, and different opens and qualifiers. The five left that we previously announced from the Welcome Back Tour, they all have invites on the line. And so I guess let's just jump into the overall reaction before we get into your deck and more about you as a player, Ash.
Yep.
Andy, what was your first reaction?
Well, I went in expecting back to the regional Pro Tour system. I didn't expect them to ever go back to international Pro Tours. And when I read the message, it kind of combined a couple of my favorite eras of Magic. I think for local scenes, I think the PPTQ era was the highest I've ever seen local Magic be in my area for sure. The competitive Magic was super bumping during that, and I might have a bias based on where I'm physically located, but it's just so crazy to see my favorite system essentially get brought back, small qualifiers at the store level, get to go play this big event. But these regional championships sound way cooler than the RPTQs were. The RPTQs were these small events with some people from all around, and they had to go there because it was the place they chose to go or they were closest to. But the regional championships just sound so much more cooler, an actual thing you want to qualify for more, not just a step along your path to getting to the Pro Tour. And I think that having a middle thing there to be hyped about is super great for local play because they can feel the accomplishment when they win and get the invite to this thing, and this could be their Pro Tour, so to speak. And for the grinders out there, it offers a fantastic path to the real Pro Tour. The real Pro Tour is back, and it's real. It's actually the Pro Tour, and it's exactly what you think when you think about the Pro Tour. It's international play, all players from all over the world, the best of the best. And I thought that was never going to come back outside the Pro Tour finals. I thought it was going to go the route of the Players Tour with regionals, feeding finals, but I was blown away with excitement, and even have some partial invites stacked in there, which is something that I wasn't sure was going to come. So I don't know how you could look at this announcement and not be at least pleased. Yeah, pleased. How this is what I would like to see. It's more than I thought we were going to get. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm super hyped, and I tweeted it right away. It's this is the most excited I've been in a long time. I'm back.
I felt a lot of the energy from especially people that I've played with or known for so long, and I was surprised. I was surprised because sometimes WotC lets a few leaks go here and there, but there was no leaks, only fake leaks that I saw on Twitter before this, and so pretty cool that everyone was able to keep it under wraps. I know on Twitter some have asked how is it different from the PPTQ system that we had, and I think there are some differences where for the first time, I don't remember if we had a chance to do it yet. It was always in the works to have the face-to-face games open be important and tied to the PT. And now, we're overseeing a bunch of tour stops that have invitation implications, and we have different qualifiers. And now these championships, instead of those regional qualifiers, the few that we had, they're going to be what I feel like nationals type feeling events where you have an East one and a West one, pretty significant feeling events that will be happening at the tour weekends. And now it's cool that before, I remember me and you chatting about previous systems and being confused, but here it's you lay out the chart right here in front of us. It's pretty simple how you're going to get through each stage. I'm gonna ask Ash. Like, we talked quickly on Twitter. You told me you started. Let's get into that. You told me you started at like the top of at the start of the pandemic.
Well, that's when I started getting like serious about Magic.
Okay.
Like I top aided a face to face right before the pandemic. I was on E-Tron when Once Upon a Time was legal, but that's an entirely different conversation. But yeah, like I was really bad at Magic. Looking back, I was so bad, and then I started like playing a bunch of MTGO because I lost my job because of the pandemic. I didn't go to school that often because like my semester was off, and then I only ended up like taking 2 or 3 courses anyway because online school not it for me. So I was like, you know what, let's try this full-time Magic thing for a year and see where it takes me. And well, I started playing the PTQs came up every single weekend, and I started grinding those. I started streaming them. I was having really fun. I remember like some of the key moments was like Aspire Spike rating me. Like where like back then it was only for like 500, but still that was like whew. And then I got to the finals, or for this one, it was a top 2 seeds qualified. And I got to the quote unquote finals 3 times and lost every single time.
Ooh.
So it was back to back to back too. It was like really close in between each other. So that kind of like built a good mentality for myself of, hey, it could be worse. You could be here again. So yeah, and I started playing a whole bunch of different decks. But then online, the thing that paper players don't understand about the online meta that happened was they missed out on 4-color suit meta in Modern, and they missed out on Valky meta, which are both like the worst games of Magic I've ever played. Those were miserable metas. And so I switched to Pioneer. I became really good at Pioneer. And now I got 2 different formats that I'm good at. And now I went back to paper play, realized that I could actually win a face-to-face. And well, now here we are.
2 of the key formats moving forward. So that's sweet, right?
Oh yeah, that's fun. I just got to learn limited, so I got to read.
Have you experienced as like a viewer of what the like before you're trying now since the pandemic, like did you have an impression of the Pro Tour and everything about that?
I had no idea anything existed outside of face-to-face at that time. All I knew was that my friends loved going to these face-to-face events, and like the people that I like looked up to at the time were also doing this and grinding for it. And I was like, yeah, this is how you make it. Yeah, I just want to have fun and be competitive, because I was always like, I'd play games with the purpose of getting good at them. So that was the goal. We were trying to get better at Magic, and well, it led us down this path. So
that's super sweet. Well, you've heard, have any of your friends who have played when Pro Tour existed tell you how awesome this is, or not yet?
A lot of my friend group is from the same time as me, like started around, I think like I technically started in like I remember my first pre-release was like 8th Revolt. Like that's it was pretty recent. Like that's when I started playing stores, and I wasn't like a casual commander player. Yeah, like I all of these systems and all these qualifying for worlds thing, it was like super new. And now I'm just kind of like I got a lot of information really quickly because like Twitter, and I got kind of exposed to it all really quickly. And so yeah, I kind of just, this is the system I know now. Like this is brand new to me, and I think it's sick. I think it's so cool.
Did anybody tell you at the event, like after you won, that something might be coming up?
I got hinted at by the person who was taking my information down for prizing or whatever. It was like, yeah, by the way, you're gonna get an email in about a week about something super special because you won. And I'm like, I was going through in my head, like, what could this mean? Am I getting my own token? Am I like what is happening? Am I going straight to the Players Tour? Is there going to be like an NRG series, like kind of thing for face to face where like all the best players show up at one place? So I was like, oh, this is so exciting. And then I figured out then I included in my head that the OP announcement was happening. I'm like, oh my, did I get the invite to the Pro Tour? Nah, I'm pretty sure I haven't got the email yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going to like the champion stage.
Yeah,
exciting.
Yeah, the championship. Actually, maybe as a future idea, would you want your own token?
Yes, I was going to pick Construct or Ashiok Nightmare token instantly.
Okay. I'm gonna put in my notes that
instantly, because like I can tell you that every single match during the finals, if you saw my victory photo, I was holding up a very, very old photo of LSV. Like he had an LSV token back when he was I forget, it was like 2015. So like I didn't even know LSV at the time, but I was like, yeah, let's pray to LSV that we get this dub, and LSV got me there.
Right. So I guess you're pretty happy at the news that you reacted. I imagine you're leaning towards Calgary as the championship.
Actually, I'm unsure right now because I can tell you, I don't know other regions right now. I don't know how like Toronto is. I don't plan on going to Toronto on the 10th or whatever. But I am going to Halifax because my family already is just planning a trip out there, and I kind of like pushed them like, hey, what about this time? What if we go here? And if it's a little bit easier in Toronto, because I know we have a GP winner in Alberta, we have Attila, and we also have Carson, who's a really good Magic player. Like we have a lot of really good crushers in Alberta, and if I can avoid them, I will.
Andy, do you you told me that you might have known Ash prior to getting him on the show?
Yeah, I recognized like them in Discord, and so I thought they were in a different Discord. And I searched, and I'm like, oh, they're not there. But I guess it's from our Valorant Discord, where they've accused me of playing very badly.
I mean, like, am I wrong?
I'm brand new.
It's okay. It's okay. Like, you're good. You're allowed to play poorly, but I'm still gonna arrest you about it.
It's harsh but fair. And just so you know, Toronto's going to be like 5 times harder than Calgary.
Bet.
It's not going to be remotely close.
Like I said, I don't know. I have to feign ignorance because I really don't know. But all I know is Alberta's rough.
Yeah, the Toronto like GP grinder and PTQ scene is insane. There's like 4 like ex-platinum pros at least who would come out and stuff like that. At least there's so many GP winners.
Well, maybe I'll take my free dub in Calgary then.
I would call Calgary. I'll say it soft.
Okay, you can say that. I got too many friends that I love Calgary to say that. Hey, Jen Krotz is
Hey, I love Jen.
On our team.
I love Huska. You're soft.
Oh, yeah, we also
it's not your fault.
That's true. We also have Chantel. Chantel's really big.
Chantel's insane. It don't matter.
I love Attila. Insane. Attila's my boy. So,
Attila is cool.
So it's glad to know that you know him.
I can tell you when I went to Wednesday night F&M, by the way, yesterday we went to Modern Night or whatever, and I showed up, and Attila's like, oh, you're not too big for us anymore? You showed up? And then I swiftly 0-3'd on the night. It was a good time. It was a quick and humbling experience. I was like, wow, this is great.
Let's get to your let's get straight to your deck choice. How you decided on it, like how much time did you put into this deck? None.
I'll tell you when the question comes.
So what do you think? Like what made you choose this deck?
So I made a metagame call. I was talking with a whole bunch of like aforementioned names like Attila and Mark Norris, and I think it was Carson Bell. I was like, I really like 4-color. I was playing 4-color. I played it for the past 4 months or something like that. I had a lot of experience and reps on the deck, but the issue I found when I played like a local tournament like a week before face-to-face was that deck went to time too often. It was way too slow. Like you just couldn't play that realistically quickly. And so I was like, well, is there like something that's similar to this that maybe can kill a bit quicker and also just has like a better metagame matchup against like 4-color itself so that I can try to just win game 1 and then never have to play just pray for game 2. And I picked Elementals because I made the decision that Risen Reef was better than Eternal Witness. And well, here we are. The list specifically, I took an amalgam of Dom Harvey's list and a second place challenge list, and I just put them together and hoped it worked. And well, it did. So, but a couple of the changes that were made was at that same tournament. There was a player there called Jesse Samick. He's used to be like a really he's been apparently on the scene for forever. Again, me being a Zoomer, ignorance, all that stuff. But yeah, I started talking to him and bouncing ideas off of like elementals and what I should be running. He's the one that suggested I had the second Titania, and I can tell you there is no better feeling than Titania plus Risen Reef. Oh, it's like 5 triggers. It's so awkward to have resolve in paper because you have to put the land into the graveyard off of Titania, then Titania triggers, then Risen Reef triggers, then you resolve your fetch. And so that's how you get yourself a GRV on game 1 real quick. Yeah, I wanted to just try to beat up on 4-color. I wanted to beat up on Death Shadow. I wanted to beat up on Amulet Titan. I wanted to dodge Living End, and I wanted to dodge Tron, and well, I did both, so here we are.
Andy, do you have experience with this archetype?
Yeah, I played this deck at my local tournament today, and I've been playing 4-color the whole time that it's been around, basically. And everything Ash said is correct. It's like the 4-color version that like it may beat like a lot, like it may be worse against like a swath of decks because counterspell is just good against everything, but it's like really good against the decks it's really good against. Like in the 4-color mirror, like Risen Reef is insane, and like Risen Reef and the access to all the ephemerates is like really tough to beat. So like it's the 4-color deck that definitely beats the mirror. It's even better against blue-white control, and I wouldn't be surprised at these events if people are still playing stuff like that because it's like a deck that they had in paper before. They only need to buy like 7 new cards and call it a day. And yeah, it's like struggles a bit against Tron, but like both 4-color decks struggle against Tron. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. And yeah, it's a great choice. Honestly, it's I'm considering it for the face-to-face in Toronto. I'm not like sold on everything about this mana base in particular, but I don't know a lot. Like I can't believe that the deck's playing a basic mountain is the only thing that comes up to me. But
Burn.
Burn, okay, got some respect. Burn is so bad, so I don't know how much respect
Top
to
8.
to even give it. No, I believe you. I meant not. Burn is not a bad deck. Burn is so bad for you
Oh yeah.
that I don't know if I bother giving it respect. I haven't played with Titania though. That's one that I wasn't sure if it was good. I bought one today, and I'm really interested to hear your opinion on like where it really shines.
Yeah. So the way it really shines, obviously, as aforementioned, was Risen Reef. If you're just like against game my round 1 against Amulet Titan, the one where I got the trigger warning or whatever, you just like you hold up Titania on their end step. We were, by the way, during my run on face to face, 5 out of the 6 matches, I was one of the very few last ones done. So I was playing like the entirety of my rounds every single round. And I can tell you that Titania would have caught, if I didn't have Titania, I would have lost so many more games or drawn so many more games, because in the end step, I would just hold up fetch lands, like 2. I think I held up 2 fetch lands on my opponent's end step with a Teferi play. I needed to create lethal. He was at like 26 because he was on Amulet Titan, and I like killed a couple Titans or whatever. But I cracked a fetch. I found an ephemerate off of Risen Reef. Off the trigger. I cracked another one and made another 5/3. I ephemerated it, made another 5/3. Risen Reef triggered 6 times his end step, and then I killed him with like 20 whatever, enough to kill him. But you were just able to like turn out so much power so quickly. And if Titania is not good, you just kind of like hold it for like a turn or two until you build up fetch lands. Like something I commonly did with this deck was if I know that Titania needed to be in or an out at some point in the game, I would hold my fetch lands and enchant them with abundant growth for later value with Titania. And that would be like post Yorion, because Yorion could just move the abundant growth to other lands. So I didn't have to worry about putting in the bin for Yorion value later. But it was just like always a game call of like, I'm able to do so many different things and hold up for so many different lines. And you just dump power into play with Titania. You just say, okay, you're dead. Cool. Because like you already just put enough lands into play with like Risen Reef on 3, and then you just pitch a Fury, and now it was just a 1. You don't have to worry about the card you pitched.
Yeah, I think Ash, what you've really pointed out that a lot of people just won't understand just from like looking at deck lists on like Magic Online, or if they play like exclusively on Magic Online, is that you have to win the game, and it's really slow. This deck's incredibly slow, and your opponents are going to play pretty slow because they have to play around a bunch of free spells. And so like a super important thing from the other 4-color version is you have to like establish with your opponent on the first turn of the game that you have to play fast, I have to play fast. And like it doesn't give you a lot of time to make like the super tough decisions. Like on Magic Online, I find it easier to manage your clock. At least for me personally, maybe it's just like I'm pretty good with Magic Online, pretty experienced, so I can manage my clock there a lot better. But in paper, like you can't take that much time all the time. Like when you F6 in Magic, you don't have to worry about anything. So like your time's not ticking down at all. But in paper, like both of your time is ticking down all the time. And so it's super important to have a way to just win the game. And that's one of the reasons that I'm like, I might play elementals. Do I think it's like necessarily better? I think it's about as good. It could be better. It's certainly better against some things, but I'm so afraid of getting draws at these tournaments, not necessarily because of my play, but a lot of just the way other people play. And it's uncomfortable to tell someone they have to play faster every turn of the game, even though it's against the rules to play slow. And it's a tough conversation you have to have, and I could see you playing this deck almost because of that. And it's not bad either.
I have a different approach. Like, I think that like I'm pretty okay with telling my opponents hurry up. Like I have done it multiple times. I don't feel bad at all because it's just like it's part of the game. You have to hurry up. On Moto, yeah, like if you lose on clock, that's your own fault. Like that's no one else's but your own. But in paper, yeah, you have to worry about your opponent and how fast they play. And one of the things that I've gotten really good at to try to increase the pace of play is shortcutting. You have to be so good at shortcutting with this deck. Like the amount of times I'm just like, I'm announcing what I'm fetching. I'm playing a Ren and 6. I'll put the dice on it after. I already said what I'm doing. Take your turn. Or I'm going to go cast this abundant growth with a forest. Take your turn. Like you just have to get really good at shortcutting with this deck. You have to know what you can, what you can't.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And yeah, I'm totally cool telling people to play faster as well. It is just like uncomfortable for some people, and it shouldn't be because it should just be a normal thing. But I agree with you. And yeah, the shortcutting is super important. Just saying everything you're going to do and then pass the turn and then shuffle your deck.
Yep.
Or like sometimes even end a turn, I'll be like, I'm going to crack my fetch at some point. It depends what you do, what I'm going to go get. But like I'll have my deck in my hand already if it's okay with my opponent. Just so like if I'm fetching like a tap land into turn, I'll put it into play and then shuffle just to speed anything up because you have to.
You really do. You really have to get really good at shortcutting to play this deck, or else you will go to time and you will lose.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think 4-color in all the variants has been the best deck in Modern for a good bit here. But there's just so many things that are against it logistically, being as expensive as it is, as like hard because a lot of the cards are new cards. So even like established Modern players coming back have to buy $500 in cards, and like that's pretty big burden for a lot of people. And the time thing. There's just so many things going against this deck's success, and I think that's why we don't see it as just the clear best deck like we would like a Death Shadow.
And the most common place you get Moto results is on, or yeah, like the most places you get Magic results is on Moto, and most people can't even rent this deck. Not even close. Like half this deck. Like you can get like maybe a playset of Solitude, and you get to play with that, or a playset of Fury. Like this one's running like both of those plus Ren and 6 plus Teferi, which is easily over 1,000 ticks just right there.
Yeah, no, 4 Ren and 4 Teferi is like 600 ticks on Moto, and like most people's rental limit is like between 6 and 900.
Yeah, you need to be either a fancy streamer with a Mana Traders premium, or you got to have friends that are willing to lend you.
Yep.
So, Andy, you actually think this might be the clear best deck?
Yeah, I think it's been the clear best archetype for a while.
4-color soup. This being lumped into it, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like it changes based on the metagame. I think like the version with counterspells and e-witnesses was really good, but once again, insanely difficult to win with. And then there's even new versions out there that play no creatures other than Omnath and Solitudes, even harder to win with. But like you just take control of the game in such a good manner. The card advantage in these decks is unmatched. It can't be matched. So like anything that's trying to fair fight, you can't win, and you have the ability to beat these unfair decks, especially if they're unfair creature decks.
Wow. Well, Andy, what's stopping you from playing it then? What's the one thing?
Nothing, baby. I gotta gear it up. I gotta sleep.
Okay. I imagine, I don't know if this is true. Like I imagine for Modern, like the meta is more like, there's a Calgary or Edmonton centric meta. There's a Toronto centric meta. Andy, what do you expect and hope not to see here?
You hope not to see Tron, just because you don't have a lot of good stuff. Like you can go post board, you have a bit more. You can like go get a Charmaw, and like that's a lot of the times good enough. Just Charmawing them and Besajuing them. Beseju is super huge for that matchup. It's actually unbelievable how big it is. You just have like a main deck out to Tron to just Beseju and Ren. And other than like, yeah, Tron is really bad though. Overall, I'd still say, and it's like super hard to overcome. You're so slow and you're so board based, and they're also slow, but they go over the top of everything you do. So that's a deck I would certainly look to dodge. Burn is the other deck I would look to dodge. And the only crappy thing about like going to a tournament like right at this point in time, like after COVID, well, not after COVID, but at this point where people are going to tournaments again, is those are two decks that people are going to have and own already that haven't changed that much, and so they could just buy their 4 cards and play the tournament and have a tier 1/2 deck, and that's a pretty appealing thing for a lot of people. So like, for example, on Magic Online, you don't face like a lot of Tron or a lot of Burn, but like you go to these real life events where there's logistics for paper cards that don't exist on Magic Online in the same way because of the liquidity of everything. You're going to face these decks that are kind of a bad matchup.
Yeah. Another matchup I forgot to mention that has just recently popped up, at least in the meta here, is the Mono Black Coffers deck. That matchup's unwinnable. You can't win that matchup. That's just Tron, but worse. That is Tron, but so much worse.
I don't even know what that deck does.
Okay, so it's like Tron, but instead of assembling Tron lands, they just assemble Urborg plus Kabbalah Coffers and then cast a card called Invoke Despair.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, that's a draw like 3 basically, and you lose your hand. Yeah, you can't beat that deck. You just go next. You just hope to not see that deck because like nobody. You just gotta hope no one wants to buy a place at Urborg and Kabbalah Coffers. But yeah, no, in my local meta, going into the face-to-face, there's, like I said, a local tournament, and there was 6 4-color players and 5 Death Shadow players. And when I was like telling my friends from Saskatoon that were coming, they were like, yeah, what do we want to expect? And I'm like, Death Shadow. And they looked at me like, what do you mean? This deck's dead. Lurs got banned. What do you mean? I'm like, trust me, I don't know why it exists, but it still exists. It's still like pretty good. And yeah, like there's a lot. I don't know if it has to do with like Alberta oil money, but there's a lot of like big foil, fancy, anything like price is barely a thing when it comes to here. Like I barely see that's an issue because I know there's like some dude at my FNM. Like I think if it's a pack tonight, I think 2 of my opponents will probably have fully foiled decks or like over $1,000 decks, like pretty easily. So
just got their cowboy hat on, their cigars out in the game. Just
dude, they have to go check on their horse in the parking lot, dude. I don't know, like it's just Alberta things. I don't really know. I did notice it when I went to like other places, but like here, yeah, it's just big Alberta oil money.
That Alberta money.
Alberta money.
Ash, would you change anything if like Halifax was like, let's say tomorrow?
Oh yeah. Probably not because the meta hasn't shifted too much from what I originally saw. But like the only thing that I might consider is like a swap between Foundation Breaker and Night of Autumn in the board, because that Amulet Titan matchup, I could have killed an Urza Saga and a Dryad in one turn with an Ephemerate, and I couldn't because I had 3 mana and the card Night of Autumn in my hand. And I was like, now I have to pick, and I lost because I picked the wrong one. But yeah, no, like a lot of the silver bolts in this deck are still really good. I still like subtlety. I still like endurance. It's really just like this deck is very tuned to what meta you expect. Like you can just Scryfall elementals and put in one or two of the random cards and hope to God that you eventually get there with like tutor or drawing them off of Risen Reef, or you have 4 copies of Eladamri's Call. Like just go find the good card. But it's really meta dependent. And I don't know the meta about Halifax or like other local tournaments, or sorry, other foreign tournaments. So I would just probably submit what I'm comfortable with, which would just be this. But the only thing I might change is the mountain for a forest, and that's about it.
How good do you guys think? How good do you guys think Mono Red and Tron is like overall?
I think they're solidly like tier 2, maybe tier 2.5. But
okay,
like the problem is like it's modern, so like I've always said this about modern is like the tier 2 and like tier 3 decks aren't that much, like they're still very powerful. They can still do lots of powerful stuff. They're just like not as like consistent or perhaps like as fitted to the metagame. But that's why modern is so appealing to so many people, is like no matter how bad your deck is in the metagame, it's still a good, powerful deck.
Yeah. A lot of these tier 2, tier 3 decks are just decks that people enjoy, and a lot of the time they're fine. Like was brought up earlier, like pre-pandemic Burn is probably fine enough to just play. Like the cards really haven't changed that much. I think that the reason that you see a lot of them not do as well at the top tables is because again they don't have like the newer cards that are just so like targeted, and like they're just so efficient. Like they lose the efficiency that the modern has adapted to. However, they still have really good matchups, and if they just hit them well, like you could realistically play mono white taxes, and if you just draw your Leonard arbiters at the right time, you probably could top 8 a face-to-face. Probably could. I've seen it happen.
All right, man. Thanks for the breakdown, Ash. It was very thorough. I think maybe we've convinced some people to give your deck a spin. Going back to the F2F Tour, I mean, the most common questions, thinking of some common questions I got were like, if you're able to play 2 of them, 2 championships, yes, you can. And they're not region specific. I think a lot of people are used to the old system, and WotC let us like rename or rebrand regional qualifier and regional championships. Like for us, you just replace the word regional to F2F Tour, and you'll understand our system. DreamHack has their own nomenclature. Like they have something called the Showdown, and I haven't checked the Europe or Brazil or the other places how they're naming their own stuff. But did you have any questions at all, Andy? Or I think it's pretty simple. I think I got a lot of questions about how an LGS can get their own WPN kit and get their own qualifier. So we have information here. I'm not an expert. Mike Hill is about all this stuff, but they can definitely go to f2ftour.com/LGS and find out more about how to get their store involved and get players from their store getting invites to the Tour Championship. So that's pretty cool. Bunch of cool promos that you can win here.
So if you qualify for the regional championship, can you continue to play qualifiers for regional championships?
Can you continue to play qualify? Okay, I'm gonna have to check my notes.
Because previously, like PPTQ system, you win 1, you're done for the whole season. You just can't play Magic. And you said you can play both regional championships. Like
yeah, so you can keep playing.
So you must have to queue twice, right?
Right. You can queue twice. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
So you queue twice. So that like lessens the impact of you having to scoop someone in or something like that. There's like an actual value, I guess, to your second invite. I mean, I don't know how massive these implications are, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably not flying to Calgary or anything, but
yeah.
What's wrong with Calgary?
There's nothing wrong with Calgary. I've been there. I'm just not flying to go play.
Oh, it's because you don't want to lose. That makes sense. Oh,
I do hate losing.
Yeah, because it's Alberta's harder. That makes sense.
Alberta diff.
Yeah,
I mean, Ashley, like for you, but even before you got like super, like we'll say super competitive, I guess.
Sure.
In the pandemic, who did you consider? Were there people that were known or either at your local store or as like the best players in the area or in Alberta?
I remember that like I always felt like I would like pre-pandemic before I decided to build a deck that I saw in Goldfish on like the actual first page. I was playing like this was when Faithless Looting was unbanned, and I was playing like some red black Skelemental Unearth kind of vibe, you know. It was really fun time. And I remember that I used to like dumpster these like quote unquote people I thought were good with like Dreadhorde Arcanist and Thoughtseize. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Yeah. And then I remember like thinking like everyone was so good and I was among them. And then I realized how insane that was and how bad I was because I was playing really bad cards and getting lucky. But yeah, like there was a lot of like people like Attila still. This was like before Attila had the GP run. This was like I used to look up to or like I used to recognize him as like one of the better players, and like a lot of the people that are now like L2s or L1s in my scene are also that have taken a step back through COVID. They were also really good players at the time. But there's just the current friend group I adapted myself into because my old friend group kind of didn't really want to play as much competitive. They were more so about like cubing and having fun like that. My new friend group, I also thought they were all really good. And now I'm the one that they ask questions to, which I think is kind of weird because like I'm 22 and they're all like high 20s, and I'm like, wow, this is weird. Like having the power of the Zoomer feels really weird.
That's actually awesome. And it's like because we've had this stretch period of like not Pro Tour and things happening competitively, it's been hard to know. Like for me, who the best player. I can just tell you who like the best players were before your time. Like
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, like I guess you've never heard of Sean McLaren.
I recognize the name. I can't put a face to it.
All right. So he was considered the best in Alberta because he won a PT, and also right after his first PT win, he managed to finish second in the next one. Like he almost went back-to-back Pro Tour wins, and for a period of time considered the best player in your area, I would say.
Well, now it's me. So
yes. Hey. More
Big
power.
dog
Yeah,
in the
I'm glad.
I was having a conversation with someone about talking about like how weird the scene's going to look compared to the way it was before. And the thing I described to them was like, you don't understand these Zoomers. You don't. I was like, they're all 19 and twice as smart as you.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, it's
And
wild.
It's incredible to me to like see all these like young players get into the scene who like got into it in such a different way because of the pandemic and stuff like that, and they like don't know like the old time like best Magic players around, and they don't care either. They're so good, and there's gonna be so many names that you're not gonna know, but like someone like me who's like pretty in depth to like the Magic Online community, and I'm gonna be like, I knew they were good. I knew they were insane this whole time. They're better than me. They're better than you, and you just don't know it yet. The Zoomers are insane.
Oh yeah. If you are like 40, get ready to get your butt kicked by someone that could be your kid. Like, oh, that's all I'm saying. Like, it's gonna happen.
I'm getting
really
up there,
is.
Andy. I'm getting up there in age.
Well, I assume you're 40 by now, Carr.
But I'm just excited. I'm always excited to learn who the next people are, and it was a shame that it took a pause because like I had fun. Remember Andy interviewing guys like Edgar, Detective Dollywall, like people that were on the up and up right before things stopped, and curious how they will do. Like Edgar was talking about, like let's ruin each other's lives. Let's go back to grinding, ruin ourselves.
Yep.
So excited, like how the kids that were on the up and up are gonna do once we start.
Yeah, I would put money on the face-to-face. There's going to be some names that you don't recognize that I've known are some of the top 10 Magic players in Canada for the last year.
Yeah.
And there's just these 18 to 20-year-old kids who are just nuts.
In the underground Discord?
Yeah.
The underground Boomer
like,
versus Zoomer Discord.
Yeah,
Boomer
like Jack.
versus Zoomer.
Yeah,
Jack
no, that's
Potter.
the name of it. Jack Potter. Jack Potter might take down face-to-face Toronto.
Ginky is also very,
Ginky
very
also.
good.
He
Like he just top 4 to
12?
Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Keep throwing the names, man. Keep shouting. Keep
shouting. I can't boost their egos too much.
Owen Turtwall or what's his name? I don't remember his last name exactly,
Owen
but his name's
Turcotte?
Pete Tarts to win. Yeah, Turcotte.
Yeah, he was around before. He's won a face-to-face.
Yeah, he's won a face-to-face a while ago, but he's gonna come back. Trust me.
Listen, everyone who's anyone has won a face-to-face open.
Yeah, you need that. That's like the bare minimum. Who else can I think of right now? It's Canadian. It's really hard because I don't remember who's Canadian or not.
I don't know a lot of their real names.
Yeah, I only know them by their Moto usernames, but yeah, that's all I really can recognize right now, at least. But you'll see a lot of new people like, top 8'd face-to-face Edmonton with me. I beat him in the top 8. Andrew Trainer, he qualified for Pros Tour or the Players Tour with like Rogues, Demir Rogues. He played so unbelievably well. I watched a majority of that run. He's gonna be destined for good things.
Yeah, and I think their username's Shadow. I think their name is
Shadows 2005.
Shadows.
That's
is it Andrew?
No,
No.
maybe, I don't know.
I thought it was Andrew Barbosa. I don't know.
It is Andrew Barbosa. Yeah, the last name I remember.
Yeah, he's also very good, and I can't wait for all the old guard to just get their ass handed to them.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna see a lot of salty Facebook posts,
and they're gonna be like L plus ratio plus I top 8 plus you don't.
Yeah, plus play the good cards 2020.
Plus
they're gonna throw the word poob in there at some point. Yeah. They're just gonna get styled on.
I can't wait because I really like that group, and I just can't wait for everyone else to see how great they are.
Oh, they are some of the most toxic, but they're so funny, dude. It is killer be killed in that.
They're just kids, and it's kind of great
really
to see just kids having a good time, being little shits, just like I was, you know.
Oh yeah, we were all there once. We were all dickheads once, but they're still there, and they're good at Magic. So it's kind of
way better than I was.
It's kind of this interesting thing that hasn't existed in Magic for so long. Like we haven't had a heel, we haven't had someone that we actively like is the villain, and these Zoomers are starting to like take that role, and I think it's so funny and exciting because like you're just gonna see some kid just like L plus everyone in Edmonton smells plus I came to your city and if I win Halifax, I will tweet L plus Halifax sucks plus ratio. Mark my words.
And you can book it.
Yeah, I'll leave. I'm just gonna go hang out with my grandma. That's about it.
Wow. I'm gonna shout out like someone who I want to see do well, because like you mentioned him also. Like I had a good conversation with him when I DM'd him, which is Carson Bell. It was fun talking to that guy, and him telling me how he improved to the level that he is at now. So that's really cool to see.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah,
he's really funny. I remember he was like really stressing about this face-to-face. He was like, dude, I just need to get some testing. And so I asked my daughter to like test with me, and she's 14, but she was asleep at 7. Like, what an idiot. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, this was like Friday night beforehand. And I'm like, oh, cool. Also, something that I wanted to bring up at one point, that deck that I played that I won, I went 4-1 in a league with it the night before. And I played one more match and like lost. And then I played an F&M with it. I played 10 matches with that deck. And I was like, send it. Good enough.
You're just built different.
I don't know. I was just like, these cards look good. I'll put Otherness on the modern playable list.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like once you're like established into Magic, how little the games you play matter. It's like the thought behind it and like the discussion behind what you're playing and what you're doing matters so much more than you like jamming 10 leagues.
Oh yeah, practice is overrated. Just think.
Just theory craft and be like, in theory I 3-2'd this league. That's not good enough. Hold on, let me think more. Okay, I 4-1 this time. All right.
Yeah, I must be doing something right. Nah, you just got to think like, okay, was this card printed in 2020 or forward? It's got to be good. Veil of Summer, good card.
Fire Design, shout out.
Final Nub.
Well, Andy,
nub.
Is he Final Nub? He's over the hill, right?
He's in Vancouver, I believe.
Oh, is he over the hill? Oh my god. That guy is at the very bottom of the hill. Sisyphus at the bottom of that hill.
He fell off. L plus ratio plus force negation.
I think he jumped off.
he took a good swan dive into the hill.
Okay, let's end this our first episode back, Andy, with Ash talking to me about your plans for content creation or anything you want to plug.
My Twitter at Dreams of Ashiok. I plan on posting a tournament report and a tips and tricks to paper tournaments, because I can tell you that if I didn't use any of the strategies that I had for a paper tournament, I would have lost, because there is nothing more mentally fatiguing than playing 50-minute games of Magic back to back for 5 hours. Like, that tournament started at 10 and it ended at 10. Those 12 hours of Magic, and I only had two round breaks because I went 6-0 and I was able to double draw in. Because like, if I didn't double draw in, I would have died. I would have like fallen asleep mid match. But yeah. So there'll be a tips and tricks posted. They'll all be free. So you don't have to worry about anything like that. I stream sometimes on Twitch. I'm trying to get back into it, but we're in the final week of school, so it'll pop up a little more later. That's at Ashiok_Nightmare_Weaver. And shout out to Edmonton, dude. We rule. Oil money. Woo.
What do you think your ratio of playing MTGO versus Arena?
0 Arena. I remember one time I was like, yeah, there's so many player tour qualifiers, I'm gonna play it. And then I played like Salty Ultimatum to silver, and I was like, this sucks. And then I gave up. And then I went back to playing Moto. But I play Moto at least once a week. I try to play as much as I can, like every single day. But again, my brain is smushed currently from that win, so I've been taking a quick break from Magic, just kind of being like, we'll take a step back. But I play a lot of Moto.
Okay, what about you, Andy? Anything just preparing for the tournament in the week?
Yeah, preparing for the face-to-face tour. I'm not sure if I've said how much I love the face-to-face tour. But it is going to be a great tournament. Face-to-face games, running the face-to-face tour. Great tournament.
And then Ash is going to take this down right here.
Oh, look at that cash money. Big dollar.
Wow. From face-to-face games, my favorite place to buy singles.
Okay, guys. I didn't tell you to say this, but okay. And yeah, like, again, thank you so much for coming on, Ash. I hope to get you back on if you win Halifax. that will get you back on, or even if you top 8, or if you crush one of these tour championships, it will be great to.
It's fun, and I'd love to come back. I'd love to show off the Albania flag.
And anything else, Andy?
No, let's start playing some Magic.
Okay, let's start
Good to
playing
be
some
back,
Magic.
baby.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and those that will be listening to our podcast as usual. Thank you so much. Let's do it. Ciao for now.